So the state of Shonen Jump is really shifting. I mean, JJK is ending in 5 chapters as of this recording, and honestly, I'm not really too shocked. Not necessarily in that it's ending this year, but the fact that it's ending in 5 chapters. Because Gege, he's been trying to end this thing for like another year or two. He's kind of hinted that it was going to be ended soon, and this was going to be the big final arc. My big thing was like I wasn't expecting 5 chapters. My thing is, I feel like it's definitely like a health issue, because looking at all the breaks he's taken between this year and last year, they really ramped up this year. So that kind of should have been like a red flag that he's probably going to end it quicker than he originally wanted to. Just because there's so much of a toll and attacks on his body, I don't think it should be that much warranted that we can expect that. Now granted, I feel like a lot of people have kind of been throwing a lot of things just with no logic or context, like, oh, they're saying that the ending's gonna be bad. Is it gonna be rushed? More than likely. But I mean, this is Gege we talking about. If it's one skill that he has mastered, he is really good at putting a lot of things in a chapter and being able to still keep a certain pace. Gege has never been slow paced. I mean, if you go like 5 chapters past the one we're at now, Yuta was in Gojo's body, and if you go 5 chapters after that, Choso is still alive. So it's a lot that he can do within that amount of time. So I think it's gonna be like a wait and see process for me as to how I feel about this ending. He did say he was gonna try and make it as likable for everyone as he possibly can. Obviously not everyone's gonna enjoy it. That's just the nature of all endings with anything. But I mean, if you look at Twitter, I mean, I just staying off of there first of all for leaks, because if it's one thing that with JJK ending, I cannot wait for it. I'm so over the leaks and the spoilers, bro. It's not even funny. Like I don't want to open up Twitter at like 12 in the morning and all of a sudden I'm seeing these shitty quality manga pages and it's of like big things happening and it hasn't even been translated yet. Like, we got to get rid of that. Now granted, it's probably gonna get worse because I already know Sakamoto Days, like I think that had leaks a while ago, and I think even Kagurabachi was getting leaks. Like they're leaking chapter 1s of mangas that ain't even done yet. Like it's crazy. I think that part of the culture, I need that to be gone, done, just buried. I'm tired of that. Now I do think Hakari and Urame not really being a full-fledged fight really sucks. Like maybe we should have anticipated that because he really kept going away from it and he was only focusing on pretty much the Sukuna main fight, the gauntlet with everyone, which obviously that's going to be going down as, I don't know if you want to categorize it as one huge fight, but like top 5 best moments in the entire series. I'm sorry, but Hakari Urame, that's going to suck for him. Some of the plot points with Kenjaku is kind of going to suck to not get, I guess, like fulfilled, but I mean, you never know. There's something that maybe happens at the end because the merger is still a thing. I don't know if Gege is gonna do something to leave it kind of open to where if he wanted to come back to the series, he can as like a sequel. I don't know, because I mean, sequels are kind of come and go. Some mangaka, some artists, some hell, even a movie. Some people want to do it, some people don't. It really depends on that person. And in manga, it is very rare to get a sequel. This should, like the Naruto Shippuden thing, like that doesn't happen often. It really does. Like Bleach didn't get Bleach didn't get a true sequel. Some of those bigger Shonen Jump mangas, they just never really got it. It was just one big manga. So I don't know if I don't even know if JJK is really built to have a sequel or not, to be honest with you. Because if Sukuna's gone and defeated, like, what else could you possibly do a good sequel manga to? I just don't see a sequel being a thing. I don't think Gege really wants to do one. I mean, we know he wants to do like a different type of manga. I mean, there was the Idol thing. Maybe he goes into that after a couple years. You know, who knows? I mean, we know that he's not the biggest fan of Shonen Jump when it comes to the editors, because there was a lot of things that he didn't want to do. Like we all know about the school thing. He didn't want to do that. A lot of stuff in the beginning he wasn't a fan of, but he tried his best to just put his soul into it and just try to make everyone happy. I think the character that's gonna suffer the most easily from all this is probably Megami, because I really want to see, I guess, full potential Megami, or at least one big moment of him. I don't know, seeing the end, having some type of moment. Not granted the Reggie thing with him becoming a fool, that's really starting to really come to fruition, but I mean, who knows? Gege is very unpredictable with how he ends. Like with My Hero, for example, when My Hero ended and it was announced, we kind of knew what was going to happen and how everything was going to come about. Granted, a lot of people, from what I'm looking at, did not enjoy that last chapter, especially with Deku, but you know, they knew what to expect that he's going into it. We have no idea how this is going to end. The only thing that's kind of like confirmed is that Sukuna's going to lose. But that's how I feel about JJK, at least from Gege's standpoint, the ending, why I think it's ending in 5 chapters and why it felt so abrupt. Even though we know this was kind of like the final arc, we didn't expect it would end this way. But unfortunately, that's how a lot of these mangas end. Very abrupt, not really, you know, how they originally wanted to end it. That's just unfortunately, the nature of the beast, you know, that being a manga ain't easy. A lot of people think, oh, it's mainly based on talent, that's why it's not easy. The big part is just the fact that your working condition. I mean, you sitting there drawing for like 8 to 10 hours, I think, every day, missing your family. That's all, and that's big for a lot of these manga. They got families, and doing this job, they can't really see them all that much. And if you're like a younger artist like Gege, I'd rather be able to get out, get what I need to do done, and still have a good health condition. My health is good. My back isn't killing me like Tagashi, which I feel like a lot of people need to just let him do what he wants to do. I don't know why people are getting hyped over the Hunter. Well, I know why they're getting hyped over Hunter coming back, but let's be honest. It's going to go on hiatus again like December because I just don't see how Tagashi's going to be able to keep up with what he's doing. And I think this is honestly just becoming the nature of how Jump is doing. They want manga that they can put quick and something that where if it has to end, they can end it quickly without it impacting the magazine too much. Now, I think JJK ending still hurts the magazine because, I mean, not saying that what they got now is bad, but it's like, other than One Piece, which is going to be there for like 10 years and 20 years, it feels like. You got Kagurabachi, which I think is going to be the next big thing that they're going to prop up. It's really ramped up in quality recently. I highly suggest people go ahead and check that out and read it if you're into, like, I guess dark fantasy-ish type manga, but it's super action-packed. Gives you that shonen adrenaline rush that you normally would see, and I think people will like it, especially if it gets an anime. It's over. Sakamoto Days, that thing is just waiting to get as big as it can. Hopefully Netflix nails it. I think after JJK and One Piece, that might be the next big thing, because Chainsaw Man, you know, I'm reading it here and there, but I can't really say it's at the best it's ever been in the manga. It's good, but it's not anything, you know, to really write home about personally compared to the last couple, even like a couple months ago with Chainsaw Man. It just, I don't know, it just hasn't been hitting. And Jump has these titles that are trying to gain some traction. Some of them I think I promised, some of them just aren't for me personally. We'll see. I mean, that next round of when they get new mangakas to try to get into the magazine, I think they're going to be a lot more lenient on just cutting people because they're going to need something to put in that magazine. Now, as far as what I'm going to do for the channel, I mean, of course, I'm going to cover like all the ending chapters for JJK because I want JJK to hopefully go out on a bang whether people enjoyed the ending or not, because this is one of the few manga in recent memory to where I feel like it's impacted everyone or even just the manga industry, because it was just such a big movement and how quick things came about once season 1 came out, because it already had a little bit of motion in just the manga alone. Once the anime came out, it felt like everybody was watching it. Season 2 for me just confirmed it as it's up there when it comes to the Shonen Jump titles that will forever be remembered, and even in like, depending on how you view it, because it's not big for everyone, it's going to be looked at as one of the better manga and anime to come out in like the last 10 years. So, and then of course I'm going to dedicate a ton of videos post JJK, so there's of course going to be some Jujutsu Kaisen content on the channel. However, I don't know if I'm going to add Kagurabachi. I don't really want to do every series that I'm reading like a video on. It's just something about me personally. I just want to read it and enjoy it and not have to worry about making the video, unless there's some inspiration that comes about, then I'll do it. I am doing Sakamoto Days. I just love covering that. But expect even more diverse content on the channel centered around anime, of course, and manga. So you'll see that. It might be some different lists coming out, so look out for that stuff. I'll let y'all in the next one. Peace.